Alright guys, so Vol Rostler here, and today I will be doing another video. I'm over summer, so it's nice to get some more videos on the channel and fill that catalogue up. Today I'm going to be doing a collection video. I've not done one of these for quite some time. And I thought I would start with the Xbox. So today I'm going to be doing a collection video on my original Xbox games, or as it was known back then, the Xbox, and the Xbox One. I will save the 360 games because there's a lot more of those, and they will basically get their own video. As far as games that have been added since I did a 360 video like 10 years ago, well, more like 9 years ago, I don't know if there's been that many added, but there's definitely a few. So I will think of doing that. I mean, maybe I'll weigh up how many I've actually added to it. And when I work out how many I've added to it, I'll see if it's worth doing. But yeah, so today there's going to be the Xbox One, oh my goodness, the Xbox One and the original Xbox collection video. Let me explain something first. The lighting is really bad. I've had to put on my little lamp behind my Overwatch figures, which you can maybe barely see, because the light bulb was gone. I did not predict that happening just before this video, so I'll get a new one hopefully, and then tomorrow I've got a chance to do another video. And I will maybe move on to another collection, maybe PS1 games, or something, maybe PS3 games. I'm wearing a God of War t-shirt, a Kratos t-shirt, I don't know why. I think I was going to do a PlayStation 1, so I popped this on, and then immediately got out the Xbox games and went, oh, I've got the wrong t-shirt on, but it's fine, it'll do. And lastly, as usual, sponsored by Sprite. And also, one more thing, Raw this week. Raw after SummerSlam was very good. Very good Raw. Good angles, good Bronson Reed angle, good Judgment Day stuff, good matches, good show. Right, so let's get into it. So we're obviously going to start with the original Xbox games. I've got more of these than I do Xbox One games. The only Xbox One games I tend to get are games that are exclusive to the console. Whereas with original Xbox games, apparently a lot of them are better than their PS2 counterparts because they come from PC releases. So I've gone and got a bunch of games on the Xbox to kind of overlap the PS2 games I've got, and it also means I can play these on the Xbox One. I don't actually have a PS2 here at the moment, and my PS2 games are actually away because of that, which is why there's more space now in this room, and I've got more space for more games. I just won't be collecting PS2 games for a while, I guess. Although there isn't that many I really need for my collection or want, so but yes, we should get into it. We're going to start with the original Xbox games. I've got 3 piles, so let's just get into it. So the first game, Armed and Dangerous. I have not played this, but I have seen the Actman's video. Check out the Actman, great channel. Armed and Dangerous is a game that he said he loves. He loves the kind of quirky, sarcastic humour of the game. I've not played it. It is backwards compatible for, I suppose as I go through this I could also say which games are backwards compatible and which ones aren't. It is backwards compatible for the Xbox One, so I will probably play it at some point. It's only about 3 hours long. Apparently there's a bit of a difficulty curve to it, but I've not played it. I've heard very good things about it. I've heard the combat's a bit janky, but the humour and the sarcasm is supposed to pull you through. So, Armed and Dangerous. First game. Obviously, it is in alphabetical order. Second game, a game I have played and beat, Black. I have this on PS2 as well, but I've never played it. Sorry for the glare. It's not great. The lighting in this room, because of that light bulb, is not great. Black. I beat this a few years ago. Uploaded a review to my blog. Please check it out. GamingDuringLockdown.blogspot.com. And I would love to do more reviews for my blog. I just need to play the right game to review. But Black is a game I reviewed for my blog. Said it was really good. I really like the gunplay. I really like how when you engage in the combat and the gunplay, the environment gets caked in dust and bullets and shells and sound. It sonically and visually is a very impressive game. Some of the enemies towards the end of the game have got too much body armour on. Which is annoying, especially when you've just got like M16s and stuff like that, which takes a while to knock off the body armour. But I really like Black. I was very impressed when I played it for the first time. I do have body count on the PS3. I have not played that yet. I was encouraged to play Black by watching RaceFix videos, so there's another channel to give a shout out to. A lot of my games that I actually play eventually come through like watching RaceFic and Actman, and Joseph Anderson, and Mir Hairbear, all my favourite YouTubers, who all do different types of content, but that's where a lot of my catalogue or newer games tend to come from these days. This one is a game I do not actually have the proper case for, but I do have the disc. It is Breakdown, if you can see that. Breakdown. I do not have a proper case for it, but it's Breakdown because it was wrote on the side. I got this in a swap deal a long time ago when a friend of mine swapped some PS2 games. I swapped him some Xbox games. No, I swapped him some PS2 games, I think, for some original Xbox games. And this was one of the ones that just came with it. It is conveniently backwards compatible, but I've heard Breakdown's quite hard. And I've only played it very briefly. Breakdown. Still on B, I think. Yeah, we are. What a classic. Burnout 3 Takedown. One of the best racing games of the 6th generation of gaming. Bought this a few years ago, maybe not even that long ago. It's backwards compatible, again. So there's a game you can play if you're missing one of those classic Burnout race games, if you've got an Xbox One laying around. Or a 360, I think it's backwards compatible for either. Terrific racing game. I think the Burnout game I first played was actually Burnout 2, Point of Impact, and I just love the crash mode. That's where most of my fun from the Burnout games comes from. And I do kind of want to get Burnout Paradise on PS4, the remastered of Burnout Paradise, because it's got a platinum, and you can do it multiplayer. So that might be a goal one day. Burnout 3 Takedown, backwards compatible. Next game, Conflict Desert Storm 2. I believe I just picked this up because I saw it for 50p. I really like Conflict Global Storm. I probably talked about that before. So I think I just picked this up when I saw it for 50p. Conflict Desert Storm 2, I don't think that's backwards compatible. Some of these games I actually can't play because I don't own an original Xbox. And the ones that are backwards compatible with the One or the 360 just means I can't play. So Conflict Desert Storm 2, just can't play it. Next game, Doom 3. Steelbook, pretty cool. Had this for a long time, I think. I think I bought this from CX in Lincoln, but when I was on a trip from my hometown in Grimsby. I've not played it. I believe it is backwards compatible. I've never played Doom 3, actually. I've only played Doom 1, 2, and 2016, because we used to play Doom. I used to play Doom 1 and 2 with a group of friends when I was in school. So Doom 3, backwards compatible. Fahrenheit, or Indigo Prophecy as it's known in the US. This isn't backwards compatible, and I think I was conditioned to thinking it was. There is a release for this on PlayStation 4, I believe, on the store. I think all the David Cage games can be played on PlayStation these days, because Beyond, Detroit, and Heavy Rain are all exclusive. I've not played it. It's just a really good condition game, though. I think I showed this in a video a while back when I showed my pickups. A lot of those games from that video will probably be in this video. So Fahrenheit, not played it, and it is not backwards compatible, sadly. Next game, FIFA Street, the first one. Not backwards compatible. I think I just saw this for 50p and picked it up as well. One day, if I got an original Xbox, this is one of the games I want to go back to. I love the original FIFA Street. I like FIFA Street 2. I believe I've got that on the GameCube. But FIFA Street 1 has got the proper rule the world, or rule the streets mode, where you go and you beat a team and you unlock a player from that team. Cool mode. Cool game. And shame that it is not backwards compatible. Next game, Freedom Fighters. This is backwards compatible. I literally bought this because I watched, the case is a bit rubbish at the front, but it's fine. I literally bought this because I watched Critical Nobody's video on all of the IO games, and it covered Freedom Fighters, it covered the Kane and Lynch games, and it covered Mini Ninjas. And of all the IO games that they've ever released, they've only released, 11 games. Or they'd released 11 games up to that point. I didn't own Freedom Fighters, I didn't own the Kane and Lynch games, and I didn't own Mini Ninjas. And now I own all of them, every IO interactive game they've ever made, because I've got all the Hitman games on multiple consoles, and I own Freedom Fighters, and I own Kane and Lynch on PS3, I think, and I own Mini Ninjas. I just don't own the second Kane and Lynch. It'd be nice to play this one day. It apparently plays quite well on console, especially on the Xbox. I believe this is backwards compatible. So maybe one day we'll get to that after we've stopped platinum hunting. Next game, Halo Combat Evolved. Everybody who has OG Xbox games owns this. It's usually one of the cheaper games as well. I think this is like £1.50 usually, and it's in great shape. I think I've probably never even used it because there would have been an anniversary on Xbox 360, which I don't think I own. Or there would be the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One, which we'll get to in a bit. And the last one in this first pile is Halo 2. As I played through the Halo campaigns, Halo 2 is my least favourite, at least of the first three. Halo 3 is probably my favourite. It's the one I grew up with, and I also grew up with the multiplayer, playing with friends. But I do like Reach as well. Reach has got a great campaign. So yeah, Halo 2, only on Xbox, and it's also in good shape, because it's probably never been used. I believe they are backwards compatible, but why would you play them, I guess, when the Master Chief Collection's out? Next game, Hitman Contracts. One of my favourite games of all time. I love this. I platinumed it a couple of years ago, 2022, I think, and it was in my Road to 50 Platinums review, log, sorry. I love Hitman Contracts, I love the levels, I love Silent Assassin in the levels. It's honestly like a near perfect stealth experience to me. I love it so much. If I was reviewing it, it'd be so close to a 10 out of 10. You could argue that the weaker levels are actually the levels toward the end, the Chinese levels, or the Japan levels, sorry. No, is it China or Japan? Oh gosh, that's a good question. How do I not know that? I don't want to dwell on it. But yeah, the end levels aren't great. Slaying the Dragon, Wang Fu Incident, they're a bit basic, especially Slaying the Dragon. You can complete that in about 2 minutes. But yeah, one of my favourite games of all time, Hitman Contracts. It's holds up. Maybe doesn't hold up visually, but I think gameplay-wise, it isn't as good as maybe Hitman 3, because that game is just phenomenal as a stealth experience. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. Jade Empire, I got this because, again, only on Xbox, and it is BioWare's first real attempt at an RPG. Good condition copy, pretty much showed this in that pickups video as well. Have not got round to it. Haven't played a BioWare RPG since one that I'll get to in a bit. But yeah, I will hopefully get to that one day, and then I will have played most of BioWare's catalogue. After playing all the Dragon Ages, all the Mass Effects, and all the Knights of the Old Republic. Next game is Max Payne 2, Fall of Max Payne. I love this game so much. I did a review for my blog, I believe it's the last review I uploaded, on Max Payne 2. I love this game. Thank you, Racevic, for enlightening me on Max Payne 2. It's phenomenal. It's one of my favourite games probably of all time. It is such a good sequel in that it's better in every way, except for maybe you're not like a glass cannon anymore. You can't die as easily, which, I don't know. Max Payne 1 was much more annoying to me than Max Payne 2, and that makes me think Max Payne 2 was probably just a better game, because games like Sekiro aren't as annoying as Max Payne. But yeah, Max Payne 2 is a phenomenal game. Great story. It is tight, and it isn't long, and it's beautiful, and the voice acting's phenomenal, and the musical score. Duty versus Passion is one of my favourite things in gaming, musically. It's phenomenal. I need to get the first Max Payne on original Xbox, because that version is much better than the PlayStation 4 port and the PlayStation 2 version, as those versions are broke up much more often in levels, and there's loading screens everywhere, whereas the version on Xbox is not, and you can do quick saves, I believe. So I'll pick that up and add that to the collection at some point, because it should be too expensive. Medal of Honor Rising Sun, one of my favourite, probably my favourite Medal of Honor game. Probably this, or Frontline. I love the stealth mission. where you go undercover with that one-shot pistol. I love the end of the game. I love the hunt for your brother. The Pearl Harbor levels at the beginning of the game. There was supposed to be more stuff like that with like different sort of gameplay variety, and I just didn't have time for it apparently. You know, for how much emphasis the game actually places on Pearl Harbor, specifically having the date and time on the back of the case, there maybe could have been more. Like what the Pearl Harbor stuff is great, but it could have been more. But it is also I've also enjoyed the multiplayer with friends and family. So Medal of Honor Rising Sun, very good memories with that game. Next, we have Mercenaries Playground of Destruction. Now, I played this on PlayStation 2 back in the day, but the this version is backwards compatible. I believe that of the last few games I've gone through, by the way, Jade Empire, I believe, is backwards compatible. That is, Max Payne 2 is backwards compatible, and Medal of Honor Rising Sun, I believe, is also backwards compatible. Yeah, because I played it on 360, I think. Mercenaries Playground of Destruction is backwards compatible. This is a great game. This is an underrated little gem game. Probably not the most well-known game, but I think it's a ton of fun. A decent third-person shooter with a lot of variety, calling down nukes and stuff like that. I think it's a really fun game. And I think the first one's better than the second one. And I think most people tend to agree with that. I loved collecting bounties and deciding whether you're going to kill them or not. And I love the music. The main theme is awesome. It's a really good orchestral theme. Next game, Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. I literally watched a video yesterday about how the Xbox port of Substance is bad. And I believe it's because the controller for the Xbox isn't great. So the controller in the Xbox is only got one trigger or one back button. So you can't aim with that. You've got to aim with the right stick, which seems really silly. So I don't think I'll be playing Substance anytime soon. I think I'll just be sticking to the PlayStation version. In the end, the Metal Gear Solid games were made for PlayStation. They started on PlayStation, so they were made for PlayStation, and the control scheme for those games on PlayStation is very good. So I have no reason really to play Substance, and I also don't think it is backwards compatible, which I'm not surprised at. Panzer Dragoon Auto. I have owned this since I bought it from Gotham Games all those years ago and have not played it. I believe that it is in good condition as well. I believe that it is backwards compatible. I believe there's one Panzer Dragoon game which is backwards compatible with the Xbox One. And I think Saga isn't on Xbox. I think it was on the Saturn. So, yeah, Panzer Dragoon Auto. I've never played it. I've heard very good things about the Panzer Dragoon games. Probably have to make another pile now because I think that one's going to fall over into my Snorlax. I had to move Snorlax because I was going to sit here and I didn't want to take every teddy off because I kind of like him in the background. You also got, you know, the old Xbox mascot Cuphead here. And that's it. The rest is just Pokemon. And Yoshi and Pinky and Spyro and Fall Guys. Next game is Robot Wars Extreme Destruction. Okay, so I've been hunting for this game for a long time. There was a time period when this used to be an expensive game. It used to be 50 quid. And this is a great condition copy as well. I got this a couple of years ago, maybe even a year ago, from York's CX. And I saw it and I was like, I've got to buy it. It isn't backwards compatible, but one day when I get an original Xbox, this is probably the first game I'll play. I used to watch long Let's Plays on this game when I was younger. And I used to just always want to play it. It always looked better than Arenas of Destruction. Which I like Arenas of Destruction a lot. But this one was exclusive to PC and Xbox. And it just looked better. The first person camera looked better. Tornado was in the game. Wheelie Big Cheese was in the game. Dominator 2 was in the game. I believe, and more maps. So one day, maybe I'll get around to playing that for the first time, and I'll be very excited if I do. I imagine if I go on like a caravan holiday, the original Xbox or the GameCube, for example, is a console I would take just for those days when I'm not doing anything, or the nights when I'm not doing anything. So yeah, Extreme Destruction. Not backwards compatible, sadly. The next game is a classic, and it is Star Wars Battlefront. I actually believe this doesn't work, which is pretty sad, but so I'll move past it quickly, but I don't think my copy of Battlefront works. It's a classics copy. I think it's a fake, to be honest. I'll have to check it out again, but if it doesn't work, I'll get rid of it. It's a shame, but obviously the Battlefront games did recently get the collection for PS5, so I bought that and platinum that. Surprise for when I eventually do a video. Oh no, but you would have seen the Platinum Trophy Pop that I got for it on the channel. If you haven't, please go check it out. I have a playlist dedicated to all the Platinum Trophy Pops I've got since about 73, which I believe the first one was AEW, which was actually 74. No, 64. 64. So there's like 19, 20 Platinums there if you want to go check them out. Some of them are a bit longer because they're on PS3 and I had to film it, but next game is backwards compatible. Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Now, I have very good memories of this game too. The dual mode was pretty fun when you unlocked all the characters like Grievous and Count Dooku and Darth Vader. And the actual co-op missions, I think there was 5 co-op missions, but they were pretty fun too. And the campaign's fine, you know. There's maybe not enough maps, but it goes through the story, so it does the Sith ship, it does Utapau, it does the Coruscant, and then obviously it does Mustafar. So there maybe isn't enough variety in the maps and the actual gameplay, but it's a good little 3-4 hour game, and it's backwards compatible. It's strange that that one's backwards compatible, really. But I think most of the Star Wars games are, like these ones. Star Wars and Knights of the Old Republic. I absolutely loved my first experience with this game. It was during COVID, and I loved it. I think this game is brilliant. I think the combat is absolutely dreadful. So I stuck the game on easy. But I think the game is brilliant, and I own Malik, and I own Revan, I own Bastila, and I own the Lightside Revan pop vinyl, and I own the special gaming collection box they released for this game, and I love it. It's I cannot talk about Knights of the Old Republic enough. It is such a good RPG. It's got great character creation. It's got a great story, a great crew. We'll talk about the second game in a minute, but it's got a great crew that is maybe just better than the second game's crew. In fact, I'd argue it's the second best party in any Bioware game. It's a shame the combat isn't great. Our next game, obviously, is just Knights of the Old Republic 2. So I beat this after I bought it. So after that video you watched of me doing pickups in 2022, I picked this up. And I played this through, sorry. I think at that point I'd only just beat the tutorial. The worst part about this game is the tutorial. And the prologue. It goes on forever. And this is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords, by the way. It goes on forever. The second worst part about this game is that it is notoriously broken on Xbox. Parts of it are just straight up unfinished. The game was made in like 13 months. The planet, the bounty hunter planet you go to is broken unless you finish it in like an hour. So for me, as someone who went around and spent 3 hours roaming around, and then it crashed, and it would not stop crashing, and so I had to reload my save when I first got to the planet, speedrun through the planet, just to get the game to work. Now, the game also doesn't play very well. It doesn't. Graphical errors, unfinished product, really. But I love the cast. I love the story. Kreia is one of the best Star Wars characters to exist. She's incredible. She's on the back of the case. She recently got a pop vinyl release, which I'm oh so tempted to get. There are also returning party members from the first game. I will not spoil. But they're great. And there's also Visasmar, I really like. There's the Handmaiden, I really like. There's Atan Rand, who I like. I maybe like him more than Karth. I like the fact you can turn the whole crew into Jedi. That's great. I like the ending. I like the twist. I think it's a brilliant game. It's maybe not brilliant because of how broken it is. I did a review for this as well on my blog, so please check that out. I reviewed a lot of original Xbox games on my blog. Black, Max Payne, Nazi Republic 2. I really like this game. I don't think I'll play it for a long time, but I really like it. I think I prefer the first game because I had little error. Like, the first game doesn't break, it doesn't crash, it's not unfinished. They've both got decent endings, so I think the first game is better overall. But yeah, the second game is worth playing. Like, for a long time, I was kind of convinced the second game wasn't worth playing, and then I watched a video on it, a long critique video, and I stopped myself before I got too far into it, and I went, you know what, I think I need to play it. And then I played it, and it is just like a little clunky game. It's just like a little clunky, awesome little game. The next game will probably be Star Wars as well. Yeah, it is. Star Wars Republic Commando. Platinum this on my PS5 now a couple of months ago. Yeah, probably a few months ago. And really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed this. One of the better Star Wars games as well, I think, in that sort of Knights of the Old Republic Battlefront tier. Really like it. Not got too much to say. I really like some of the dialogue. There's specifically one piece of dialogue which I actually have a pop vinyl boss as well. So I've got a side of my top shelf in my room now, which is dedicated to Xbox specific pop vinyl, and I've got the Gears of War ones, the Halo ones, but I've also got the KOTOR pop vinyl and Boss. And I think I've got someone else, but I can't remember who it is. And Bastila, obviously, but yeah. I really like Republic Commando. But yeah, there's one specific piece of dialogue which Boss says at the end of the second big mission, the Cruiser mission, where he says, the Crusader I think it's called, where he says, like, oh, at least we can give him a black eye. And that, honestly, it's one of my favourite pieces of dialogue, because it's him saying, guys, we're probably going to die, but let's go out with at least damaging the droids and the Sith. Really like Republic Commando. To the point where I convinced one of my friends to platinum it, and he went and platinumed it. So, next game, Hulk Ultimate Destruction. Sadly, this isn't backwards compatible. These last few games, by the way, both KOTOR games and Republic Commando are backwards compatible. Hulk Ultimate Destruction is not backwards compatible. I've never played it, but I have heard it's the best Hulk game. I've owned it since I bought it from Gotham Games all those years ago. I just have not played it. Lord of the Rings: The Third Age is also not backwards compatible, but it's a game maybe I'll play again when I get an Xbox again. It's not too long of an RPG, but it's a really fun Lord of the Rings RPG. A kind of what-if scenario of if these 6 characters exist in this world while the trilogy was going on. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. There's some really cool sections of it. It kind of ends a bit rubbish, though, with you just fighting the Eye of Sauron. It makes no sense, but it's a cool RPG. One of the better Lord of the Rings games. Time Splitters 2 is finally backwards compatible. In fact, Time Splitters 2, Future Perfect, both games are backwards compatible. I will go to these one day and just run through the campaigns and then just play some multiplayer, but these are going to would be fun games to take away as well and to give a little go on an original Xbox. But yeah, I love these games. Showing the first game isn't backwards compatible, but I do actually own that. Love Future Perfect. I really like Time Splitters Future Perfect. I think it's probably my favourite, actually. And the last few games, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. I eventually will play this, but probably just on PS3 with the notion of maybe platinuming it. Apparently the Xbox version is much better, though, because the lighting's better and it just looks prettier. And lastly, Total Overdose. A game, again, I watched in a RaceFix video, and it is not backwards compatible, but I will maybe play it on an original Xbox. So, that is my original Xbox collection. I don't know, maybe 50 games? Probably not even that. I'll now get to my Xbox One collection. This is much less, and it's probably I'll probably be talking about it less because I've not played a lot of these. First game, Crackdown 3. I like the first Crackdown. Have not played the second, and have not played this one. I've heard it's pretty bad, though. Like, almost too late, really. I bought it in a 3 for 2 deal because I needed a bunch of the games that are exclusive for the console. So, yeah, Crackdown 3. Have not played it. Not heard great things. Destiny 2, I believe, was just in that thing as well. I can't even play it because I don't play for the Xbox Live. I played Destiny on PlayStation anyway, because a bunch of my friends play it. Dead Rising 3, again, an exclusive that I will probably get to one day. My friend and I were actually talking about playing this at some point because we beat Dead Rising 2 recently. We platinumed it, specifically, if you've seen my my short Trophy Pop video. It's a nightmare to platinum Dead Rising 2. We won't go for all the achievements, but we'll maybe play through it. Don't own Dead Rising 4 on any console at the minute. Kind of deciding which is the better choice to buy on. Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Beat this with my fiance's brother very recently, and it is just great. Like, it is so good, this game. It is aged, I mean, I know this is the Ultimate Edition, but it is aged like a fine wine. It is so good. It almost made me reevaluate which is the best game in the series. I still do think it's 3 overall though. But yeah, it's so good. It would have been Game of the Year in 2006 if Oblivion didn't come out. And then we've got Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 5, which is sealed still. I've not played Gears of War 4. I played a little bit of the multiplayer just against bots, and it seems pretty fun. And I've never played it, and I really should maybe get to it at some point. I've heard good things about the campaign. I've heard better things about Gears 5's campaign. It's sealed, so I'll get to it one day. But my plan was to go through all the Gears games. And now I've beat 1. I should really just run through 2. Longer than you think, the Gears games. They maybe took me a week of like hour or 2 hour sessions to get through. The first one with my I guess brother-in-law. But yeah, we'll get through these one day. Again, when I'm not planning in. That'll be the plan, I think. I'm a fair ways into Gears of War 2. Yeah, my fair ways into Gears of War 2. And then last, the Gears of War Tactics, or Gears Tactics, sorry. I've heard good things about this. I will get to this again at some point, basically. What I'm going to say for most of these games is I will get to it at some point. Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Obviously played all these. Halo 4 is the worst one, and it's kind of all I need to say. This is the first game I think I bought for the Xbox One when I traded it with a friend and traded my PS4 for his Xbox One. So because my PS4 was dying, his Xbox One was dying, we traded it and we've both got something out of it really, because we both got consoles that kind of have a bit of life left. And my Xbox One honestly gets used for backwards compatible stuff and things like that, so it actually does get a use. Like I played Witcher 2 on it, which I reviewed for my blog. I played Knights of the Old Republic 2, and I played Black, and I played Max Payne 2, and I played Gears of War, so, and I play Gears of War 3 a fair bit every now and then, and I played Plants vs Zombies on it. I think I played Dragon Age a few years ago, again, but yeah. So I will probably play through the Halos at some point, but nowhere in the near future. I'd want to play Gears of War again first, I think. I prefer Gears of War, it's probably my preferred thing. And then I've got the Halo 5 Guardians Limited Edition. I've never played Halo 5. I have heard mixed things, and I don't really want to get to it. We'll get through this part much quicker. Killer Instinct Combo Breaker Pack. Apparently Killer Instinct physically is not there, but apparently copies are quite rare to come by, so when I found one I had to pick it up. I want to get to some more fighting games one day. I want to kind of broaden my horizons. I have heard that you only get certain characters on the roster and you have to pay for the rest, which is kind of a good idea, but I don't know if I'd be interested in that, but I digress. Quantum Break, never played it, really kind of should, because it's an Alan Wake game and a Remedy game, and I really like Max Payne, I really like Max Payne and Alan Wake and Control, so I should play it, but apparently mixed things, given the fact that the actual real film stuff is supposed to be quite good, with like, it's got Peter Baelish in. Maybe one day I'll give it a go. I should really, I mean, I'm sat there and like, all I'm thinking is all these games I could play. Rare Replay, the first game I bought when I got an Xbox One actually was Rare Replay. Because I wanted to play all these old games, like Conker's Bad Fur Day, which I think is the only one I've actually started, and Perfect Dark, and games like that. Sadly, it doesn't have GoldenEye. Like, that's probably the worst part of Rare Replays. It's missing GoldenEye. It has got Battletoads. Recore, exclusive. Bought it because it was exclusive. And it was probably like $2.99. Most of these Xbox exclusives now go for so cheap. Rise Son of Rome. I've heard mixed things. Again, bought it because it was exclusive. Scream Ride. I bought this because I like Theme Park World. I think the disc is out. No, it's not. It's fine. And I reckon copies of that will be hard to find one day. Next game, State of Decay 2. Really like the first State of Decay, and have not played this one. The State of Decay Special Edition for the first one, the Survival Edition, I haven't found anywhere. Which is a shame because I really like the first State of Decay. I'll get to this at some point. I've not heard anything, to be honest, about State of Decay 2. I watched one of my friends' friends play it for about 20 minutes, and that was it. So, yeah, I don't think we've even seen gameplay of it. And we're on the last two games now. Sunset Overdrive, one of my friends said this is terrific. I've played bits of it, and I've not got too far into it, but it's probably one of the better new IP exclusives they actually made. So I should, maybe that is probably on the top of the list of things I should play on the console. And the last game, Titanfall, a game I don't even think I can play because it's only got online, and I wanted it just so I had all the exclusives. And I think now I'm probably missing Dead Rising 4 and probably some shovelware exclusives. But I guess that is it, guys. That is my original Xbox and my Xbox One collections. Thanks for watching. Fingers crossed I can get another video out tomorrow and get a new light bulb. That'd be important too. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think to my original Xbox and my Xbox One collection? Do you think there are any games I am missing? Keep in mind there are games I won't need because I've got them on other consoles. But is there any exclusives on the Xbox One I'm missing out on? Is there any of these games you think I should be playing now, like Sunset Overdrive? Have you played any of these games, like Total Overdose? Or is there anything on the original Xbox you recommend I need to play? Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully we can get some more videos out over summer. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe for more again. And this has been Revolver Ocelot. So I will catch you hopefully pretty soon, guys. Thanks for watching.